August I watched it, and I'm putting out something between the expansion of Everything Everywhere All at Once and the release of either The Northman or The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
1 week later.
You already know which one I picked. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So now on to option 2. The Northman is the newest film from Robert Eggers, director of The Witch and The Lighthouse. He also wrote it along with Sean, that's his full name, writer of Lamb. Also, I've just learned how to slow down footage, so I'm going to play the trailer footage at 75% because it might stop Universal from putting a false copyright claim on this video. I might also do it for Doctor Strange depending on how it looks. This time, Eggers takes us back to the time of the Vikings. Going back to my brief mention of Doctor Strange, there was a preview for that before this movie, but not Thor. You know, the Marvel franchise based around actual Viking mythology. Anyway, it's about a prince who, as a kid, witnesses his uncle killing his father so that he can take the throne. So he runs away to escape him and comes back as an adult to avenge his father. Maybe that might bring up thoughts of The Lion King, or probably a smarter but slightly less accurate comparison, Hamlet, to which I say, why would you think the story of Amleth is anything like Hamlet? This is a historic action epic, but it still has some of that weird artsy Robert Eggers stuff in there. It has its share of surreal scenes, and even has a couple things like fortune-telling or magic swords that are all proven to be legit, without this turning into an actual fantasy movie. But it still has a much bigger feel to it than his art house horror films. The fight scenes are cool and very gory. In less sophisticated terms, at this movie's high points, it's metal as hell. But my main complaint, and this is kind of a big one, is that the story does drag in a few points. I mean, these scenes look good from a filmmaking standpoint and all, but they're just not always interesting to watch. This both is and isn't the brutal action film a lot of people unfamiliar with Eggers will come expecting. Yes, it's definitely brutal, but it's also slower and artsier than that. But it's a good, ultra-violent revenge movie.
Now, a man must choose whether to forgive or to avenge, to love, to hate, to live, to die, to be or not to be. Hamlet, the extraordinary telling of a classic tale.
Swallow your soul!
Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently great for fans of Vikings. From director Sam Raimi, the mind behind the original Spider-Man trilogy and the Evil Dead trilogy, and written by Michael Waldron, creator of Loki. Anyway, plot summary. Scarlet Witch has gotten over Vision's death at the end of WandaVision, but apparently not the children that never existed. And now she's willing to endanger even more people to go get them from another universe. And now Doctor Strange needs to stop her because she can destroy the entire multiverse in the process. Raimi actually does some interesting things here to keep this from being too formulaic, even going so far as to add some horror elements and stuff that feels like it could have been in an Evil Dead movie. But for the most part it feels pretty much like any other Marvel movie, and a little underwhelming. Not bad per se, but it was hyped up as being this big thing, but it just feels like any other superhero movie with occasional hints of cool, different stuff. Even a few cameos that continue to expand the universe don't feel as big as a certain couple in Spider-Man No Way Home. Also, it probably can't stand on its own without the viewer being thoroughly familiar with the universe, but then again that's probably a given. But even in the context of the entire universe, for the most part I just wasn't as invested in the story as I would have liked. And about the multiverse stuff. Earlier this year I predicted that this multiverse wouldn't have as much madness as Everything Everywhere All at Once. I didn't expect to be this right. There's a glimpse of what could have been when Doctor Strange is flying through all these weird parallel dimensions before he eventually lands somewhere that looks pretty much the same as the one he was already in, and stays there for most of the movie, and no other universes. Hey, how strange would it be if, in this universe, get this, green means stop, and, wait for it, red means go. Hopefully the sequel will show the universe where Wong runs from a clown naked. The movie's best when it's at its most Sam Raimi. when it's horrific or over the top. It's not as good as the first Doctor Strange, it's not as good as WandaVision, it's not as good as Raimi's Spider-Man movies, except for 3, and it's sure as hell not as good as Everything Everywhere All at Once. But it's still fun, probably more for fans than everyone else. Could have been weirder, but when it works, it works. Please give to my Patreon, link in the description.